Okay, so for 7th grade lesson 2, we're currently on the lesson self-check. To explain, remember we've discussed a lot about the plastic bottles being used to create houses and also insulation. The plastic bottles are a good engineering solution to create homes and insulation on islands that don't have a lot of money or resources, right? They provide shelter, but also help to keep the people warm in the winter and cool in the summer. So similar to what we said before, but this is definitely in the end the exact claim that we want to make of the importance of the plastic bottle. Okay, and we explained how engineering is related to the village because it's a solution that is giving shelter and insulation. Okay, the evidence is that the bottles keep out the heat and the cold by blocking the molecules with the plastic. We're kind of going into evidence, right? The molecules of the heat and the cold that are outside trying to get inside are blocked by those plastic bottles. They are cheap to find and can be reused and recycled. They also can be made quickly to help someone in need. So we're just giving reasons and explaining why this is such a good idea to have this plastic bottle village. This is why this is a good engineering solution for people needing homes with insulation. Insulation just means keeping them warm when it's cold outside or keeping them cool when it's hot outside. Okay, we've explained it. Now we're going to go through our checkpoints. Just to make sure we understand the lesson, it's talking about which items are developed with a process to find a solution. So we're looking at, here is laptop, here's the earphones, here's the pen, here's coffee, here's the actual cell phone. So which was developed as a process, like to develop a solution to a problem. So a computer, yes, because wanted to be able to type things in a faster way, right? Not with a typewriter. Coffee cup, yes, wanted something to hold a liquid. Table, yes, wanted something to hold everything on it. Pen, yes, needed to write. So I would say all of them. Oops, where's my pen? There it is. Okay. All the devices, there was some need for them, right? That's the whole idea behind engineering. They're creating solutions to all of the problems that we have had over the years. Select the name of the object. So what it's like giving you a definition and you're trying to match the word with it, okay? What reduces thermal energy? Right? It's a hot liquid and it reduces over time. So liquid, is that a mug, pen, laptop, or headphones? Well, liquid, I only could use coffee mug, right? Writes clearly on paper. Mug, pen, laptop, headphones. The only one that will write on paper is a pen. A way to hear audio without disturbing others nearby. I hope you guys would know that that is headphones. Okay, now we're talking about different fires, which is important to talk about, especially in California. We constantly have fires. So they developed a chemical that you can spray, and that's going to slow how quickly something can burn. Okay, so what's the next step? They figure out here, this chemical will slow burning in a forest. So now what do? Do they test similar chemicals? Do they spray and compare those chemicals Do they add chemicals to all of them, or do they design a spray for the system for the chemical? Well, they newly developed one chemical, so honestly, they can design a spray system. They can spray and compare. They can test similar ones. So before they test, spray, and compare the effectiveness of each, they could test. Before they're designing, they're just testing. So I chose the first two that were testing. So make sure you choose just the first two. I accidentally hit the fourth one. You only need the first two. Test a similar chemicals or spray and compare their effectiveness, A and B. Which materials are best for fighting fires? Is that something a scientist cares about or an engineer? Both, I think, because they're both asking the questions. So the material best for fighting a fire is an engineer because they need the material solutions. How does turbulence affect a drop of water? So they're trying to come up with a solution with that. So that's an engineer. What percent of fires have natural causes? So that's not necessarily linked to a solution. So only a scientist is worried about that. But how does the type of terrain affect the path of a fire? That's going to affect the solution, but also give additional information. So it's both. All right, now we're going to interactive review. Here's our helmet and how it has evolved over time. Testing a solution based on criteria and constraints is a key part of the design process. So why is testing so important, basically, is what they're saying. Because the testing are the only ones needed in the testing phase. I'm always curious when like a problem says it's the only one needed. You usually don't choose that one. The criteria and constraints are factors that need to be met for the design to be acceptable. Yes. In testing, it can become clear that key criteria or constraints are not being met. That's true. That's why testing is very important. The engineering design process helps to define what is a criteria and what is a constraint. It doesn't necessarily help with the engineering design process, so it would just be B and C. Okay, we're remembering that this is our modeling and testing of the design. Models are important for scientists and engineers. How do they differ? Like why is a scientist using a model and why is an engineer using a model? Engineer is trying to test and design a solution, and the scientists are using it for hypothesis testing. Absolutely, because if you remember, like 5th and 6th grade, you guys were talking only really about scientists and you talked about using a hypothesis. But now we're getting into engineering and they actually are helping to test and design for a solution. That's why they have a model. Engineers use conceptual and scientists use physical. That's not true. Engineers use physical models. Scientists use models of natural systems and engineers use human-made systems. Not necessarily. Scientists use models to predict or forecast the change, and engineers use it to design and test the solution to a problem. So I would still say A. So it must be that they predict and forecast changes. Interesting. Scientists use models to predict or forecast the results of a change while they use it to design and solve a problem. So they're both using it to design and solve a problem, but in this specific instance, it's to forecast the results. So that last one was C. Okay, so once you have this complete, you've chosen D for the last question for the interactive review. You don't have to make your own study guide at this time. So we're going to go into unit connections. You can choose one of the activities. What's interesting to me is not always people in science, sometimes, but actually cholera is kind of like it's a deadly infection, so I'm interested in that. So to actually figure out that cholera was deadly because there was like water and it had all this fecal waste, which is basically poop. So poop was in the water and that was causing cholera and causing people to get sick. Okay, so you can describe how technology in society can prevent a further outbreak. If they want you to write that into a different, like just one paragraph, you can always explain how the technology of discovering what created it is what actually helped them to find the solution. Because once they realized how cholera was made, they were able to make sure that the water and the systems for drinking water versus the systems of where people put their waste, like that's how we got the system of toilets versus sinks. Like sinks and toilets kind of used to be like it, what they didn't realize they had to be separate. So you can write about that. Move on to the unit review. Technology. These are all unit connections still. So the unit review is right here. Complete the review to show your understanding. There's a vertical axis, horizontal, and vertical axis. So you can see how it's kind of progressed. They use this, and then decided to put them together. Wind is an important renewable energy resource. These wind turbines were developed by, solutions, right? So engineers. In order to harness power in different environments, each design has its own advantage and disadvantage. If you're an engineer, you also investigate each type of wind turbine to really understand how it affects migrating birds too. Because it's migrating birds, instead of investigating different solutions, I'm going to change it to scientists. Okay, so it cut off a little bit, but it's talking about how they were developed by engineers, and then the scientists are actually the ones who investigated wind turbines. All right, using wind energy lessens air pollutions, and that will benefit the ecosystem, right? You don't want pollution in the air. That would be bad, but if you don't have pollution, that will benefit you. These are the different mussels. Look at these mussels. The quagga mussels went crazy, and then the other type of mussels did not, or the other shrimp. So these are the shrimps. They're declining, and the mussels are skyrocketing. So what happened to this population? Went down. Diaphora decreased as the mussel population went up, increased. Okay. Lake whitefish depended on the diaphora for food. So if this is going down, they're finding less food. So what's going to happen to the whitefish population over time? It's going to decrease because they're not going to have food. They're going to starve and not be able to have babies. So there's going to be way fewer whitefish because they can't find the shrimp that they eat. Who collected the data? Usually scientists collect data to show in the graph the answer to a question. They often collect data that's giving like an answer to a question, but is not a solution to the question. Okay, an example of how these are related. How are natural resources related to stability and change? The resources keep the ecosystem stable. All right, how is cause and effect related to a natural resource? So the resources keep the ecosystem in line so that the fish can rely on its food and the shark can rely on having the fish to eat. Any change will cause a new effect on the whole system, right? Those natural resources need to be kept in balance, or cause and effect can really go haywire. The impact of using a bunch of resources of energy and matter. The more like the energy and matter need to be used but not overused, right? You need them, but don't overuse them. Stability and change, recycling and reusing keeps the resources stable and not changing. Cause and effect, the impact of using a resource, the cause of using the resources helps with the effect. All right, we'll create a new video for the remaining technology.